Hello everyone, this is Kevin Mange, and this is Kev's TV series. So, from last time, I was telling you about my journey in the Kanto region, thanks to who I'm following right now, May, from Pokemon in the anime. But yes, she did begin in Hoenn. But in my journey, have I been through Hoenn yet and what I'm talking about? Well, not really, not yet. I just gave you a brief info on what I would do at the start in the Kanto region, and then I'll be in the Johto region, and then after Johto, I would head straight to the Orange Islands. So apparently, after May's journey, when she was done in Hoenn, she went to Kanto, and that appeared in season 9. When May returned again because of her little brother coming to Kanto himself, and May was wondering where his little brother was. At the time when she visited Kanto for her first time. And it just so happens, around that time, Ash found out that there's a battle frontier, and then May found that there were contests in Kanto. And that's why I made up that spot for how I would handle myself in the Kanto region because of May and Ash, following both of them. But right now this is just May in general. So this is still the battle frontier. According to May, when she first visited Kanto. So since I discussed on the ranking from last time of Hoenn, I didn't give you the brief info of what I would do in Hoenn if I were in the Pokemon world. So that means it's going to be this yet again. For this time, it's Hoenn. But before I get there, there's something that you must know. When May was done her journey in the Kanto region, she found out that there were contests in the Johto region. So that means if I head to Johto, of course I would want to locate the contest in Johto. But the thing is, no one ever knew where the contests are in Johto. So that means that just remains up in the air until when I give you the full detail of where the contests are in Johto. Maybe I should do a TV show on that as well. May's journey, and only her journey, after the events of the Battle Frontier, following May only in the Johto region, so that we'll understand where they are contests in the Johto region. Like, when you heard Harley and Drew, and May never knew, for when we last see Harley and Drew, they said that they were contests in Johto and may head to Johto. Because of that, now I'm intrigued. So if we just focus on a TV show of just May after the events of the Battle Frontier and not focusing on Ash for a change, I guess that's where the main focus is. So since we're not focusing on Ash anymore, maybe there should be something like that. So that means when I'm done with my Hoenn and Kanto of how I can flip-flop Pokemon League and Grand Festival in the Indigo Plateau, then I would head to the Johto region, and then I would already do the gyms and the contests there. But until when that comes to be, that will come to be, then, and only then, will I discuss of what I would do in the Johto region. But until then, for right now, the contest will remain unknown until I'm done with what else I'm talking about. So, after I'm done with the Johto region, then I'll head to the Orange Islands, taking on the 4 gym leaders plus Drake. And then after that, then I would head to Hoenn. As long as I find a boat that would lead me to Hoenn, then that will indicate me to get to Hoenn. And how convenient. I did start off with Hoenn from the beginning because of May, and now it's time to wrap it up. So, now since I understand that there are like contests and gyms in Hoenn, this is the order of the contests slash gyms in the Hoenn region. So, first off, you do start and getting your first starter Pokemon as usual. My first starter in Hoenn will be Trico. After that, of course, Oldale Town, but there's something else you might want to know. For until I get there, in the process of, after I get my starter, I head to Oldale Town, and then I head to Petalburg City. But I better get started on my first 3 Pokemon while I travel to get to Petalburg in order to get to Petalburg and what will be my first Pokemon. I mean, like, my next catch after I get my Trico. So I'll get my first, second, and third because it requires 3 Pokemon in Petalburg City. It may be hard at the start, but I know my team will definitely take it on. So here's where this comes into play now. Because I'm like struggling to find out what is the closest gym. It would have been Duford Town because of what is closest from Petalburg. That would be Duford. However, I believe you are all wondering where Rubello Town is. Well, just so happens I had to pinpoint it myself from last night. Last night, I found out that Rubello is like west of Slateport and Mauville. So if I headed this way on Hoenn's side of what is west of Hoenn, I don't think this way to the body of water is west. This way, where everything is just land, is west. So what's close to there? That is where Rubello is. So that means after Petalburg City, I'm not going to Duford Town, even though that may have been close to Petalburg. Then I guess not. Because I was trying to find where Rubello is, and it seems like Rubello is above Oldale Town. Across a little sea of water, and then you would find it. Because it's just west for a few miles and it's there. It's really there. You just gotta make sure that you get there based on the information that you should know. So, after Petalburg City, it would be Rubello City, then Slateport City, and then it would be Duford Town. After that, then I'll head back upward. And what's closest to Westboro City? If I continue to go upward, I'll be heading myself up and into a mountainous area, and that would lead me to Fall Arbor Town. But that's far away from Westboro, so I'm not going to take that by default. So what would be next to Westboro City? After I take down my first contest, my second contest will be in Westboro City, and then after I do my thing with the contest and the gym in Westboro City, then it's Verdanturf Town. After Verdanturf Town, then I will be close to Mauville. After Mauville, then I would head my way straight to Lava Ridge City. I mean, Lava Ridge Town. But you get my point. And then I will make my way to Fall Arbor Town. And here's where things gonna get a little bit interesting from here. Remember in the anime that you saw the Valley of Steel? Where is the Valley of Steel in Hoenn? Well, I wanted to find where the Valley of Steel is. And that's where Ash got his Torkoal. I suspect it's another anime exclusive in the Hoenn region. So that means the Valley of Steel must be close to Lava Ridge and Fall Arbor. With that being said, I would cross the Valley of Steel to get to my next place. That is close to the Valley of Steel. And I say, that's Fortree. So I would do that. I would head straight from Fall Arbor to the Valley of Steel, and then I'll lead myself into Fortree. After Fortree, then it'll be Lily Cove City. And then it's Moss Deep City. After Moss Deep, it would be Eureka City. So here's where this comes into play. For Eureka City is actually between Moss Deep and Sutopolis. And where can we find in between Moss Deep and Sutopolis? Where's Eureka City in between that? Well, would you want to believe that Eureka City is located at these rocks? That is in between Moss Deep City and Sutopolis City? Yes, that is true. Not only there's Eureka City, but also Isabay Island too. So that means now we know where Eureka City is to the game's perspective, to the anime perspective of where Isabay Island is and Eureka City is. So after Moss Deep, I would head to Eureka City. And then after Eureka City, I'll make myself on the way to Sutopolis City. And see if Ash really did go underwater or get to Eureka City in the anime. Because I don't buy for a minute how he got to Sutopolis by a boat, of how he did get to Sutopolis by then. But if you're saying this is just the anime, how did Ash get to Sutopolis? I'm still hung on that. So once I found my answer from after I'm done with Eureka City, yes, I will head to Sutopolis. And then after that, I have finally completed my all 8 badges in that order. So that means I'll head to Evergrande, and when I'm done, I don't know where the next contest will be in Pacific Log, but I bet I would want to finish up with my Hoenn League to get to Pacific Log Town at Evergrande. So after Evergrande, when I'm done there, I would hurry myself to get to Pacific Log, get my last minute contest in, and then I'll participate in the Grand Festival. And the thing is here, there may be some contests I would win, but also contests I would lose. So even if I don't get my 5 badges or not, there's still other badges thanks to Rubello and Purica. If there wasn't a Rubello and Purica, then how on earth am I going to get my 5 ribbons to participate in the Grand Festival? Answer? No duh, I can't. And it just so happens that the Grand Festival will be at Slateport City. So after I'm done in Pacific Log in my last minute contest, if there is a chance I can get there and there's a last call for a Pacific Log contest, then I would head to Slateport City for the Hoenn's Grand Festival. That being said, that's my Hoenn journey. And when I would be done with Hoenn, then I guess I'll be heading to Sinnoh, entering the next person I'm going to be following in the anime. And that would be Dawn. After all is over from Hoenn and the Battle Frontier, in this segment, according to May, and according to me, of how I would take the journey, and of how I was following May, now it's going to be Dawn in the Sinnoh region. So I'll see you all in the Sinnoh region following Dawn in her journey. Hello everyone, this is Kevin Mange, and this is Kev's TV series. Now in today's topic, last video, that was part 1 of what you need to understand. And now it's time for part 2 of what I'm talking about. So in part 2, since you understand that perspective, that May went to the Kanto region for you to know, now it's time for a different little something for you to know. So, since I'm interested in joining the Pokemon contests, it's time to know that it's not only just May, it's also me as well. So now it's time to pay attention to my journey. But why am I bringing up my journey when this is just May already? Well, it's time to understand how my journey will go in the Kanto region. Because, well, I worked hard on this, and it's time for you to know how my journey will go thanks to contests, the Battle Frontier, the gyms. So, it's time to understand how this journey will go. So, like I said from the beginning, from a way long time ago when I explained about Ash's journey, in his anime of how he began his journey and how he got his first Pokemon and how May got her first Pokemon. In the Hoenn region, it would be Trico. But in the Kanto region, it would be Bulbasaur. So, now since we're away from Hoenn, now we're in Kanto thanks to May being a coordinator, and now we're finding out that Kanto has hidden locations for the Battle Frontier and contests and the Kanto region. It's time to understand how this will go in my journey, in my journey's perspective, if I'm in the Pokemon world. Okay? So, like I said, I would begin off with Bulbasaur. That means, after getting my first starter, I would want to go which way is closest. Is it Viridian City? And, well, is there the actual gym leader there? Agatha is not the real gym leader. Giovanni is. Blue may have taken over Viridian City. But I hate to do injustice for the real gym leader in Viridian City. And since he's not really there, Viridian City is out. Even though it may be close to Pallet Town, where's the actual gym leader? Not around. So that means the only option is to head to Cinnabar Island. But is there a gym leader there? I'm thinking no, because in the anime perspective, the gym is destroyed in the volcano. Although the volcano is a great spot, I'm afraid it's destroyed too. So I believe that Cinnabar Island may be out. But this is how my journey will go in terms of how it does go. And I think this is perfect anyway. So I'll just take my first part of the journey as almost like a vacation. So I would be like starting off in Cinnabar Island. So Professor Oak could just be with me at the first part. For until when I want to get to my real first gym, I would just be telling Professor Oak is that I'm just interested in heading to Cinnabar Island just for like sort of a little vacation, but I'm not going to last there very long because there's a sea from islands too. So Professor Oak will be with me at the start, but until when I would finally get to my first gym. So I would head to Cinnabar Island, and then I would head to the Seafoam Islands. So it turns out, after what happened in the anime and in the game's perspective, Blaine moved to the Seafoam Islands for a gym. So that means, when I head to the Seafoam Islands, not only I would get some water types, but it'd be perfect too because what's weak to fire? Water types. So that means I got a good clear advantage for the Seafoam Islands gym. I'll take on Blaine, as usual. And that's my first gym to go to. After that, then I would find the Battle Palace for my first Battle Frontier battle. And then after that, it would be my first contest firsthand when I head to Chrysanthemum Island. So now you understand how this goes. First gym, then a battle frontier, battle facility, and then a contest. And then it'll be like this as in my journey of how I would travel along the Kanto region, of how I do start. And then I would finally head to the Johto region after. So, like I said, Seafood Mountains first, then the palace, and then Chrysanthemum Island. So as I keep on journeying, bear with me on what will come after of what you understand, because I will have some breaks along the way, yes, until when I reach to the next part of what you must understand of what's going to come up next. So after Chrysanthemum Island, it'll be Fuchsia City, taking on the Fuchsia Gym. Then, Wisteria Town, the Battle Pike, then the Battle Dome. And then my third gym, Vermilion City. Then it would be the Saffron Gym, then I'll take on the Arena, and then I'll take on the Saffron City's contest. After taking on the Saffron City's contest, then I would head to Silvertown. After Silvertown, then I would head to Celadon. Then Cerulean City. And then the Battle Factory. Okay, now we're moving along here and how this will end. So, I'm going to take a pause for right here, around the factory part until I explain this. What I need to explain is about the real gym leader that was supposed to have been the Viridian City gym leader. That's who I prefer to take on because, well, Giovanni is the real gym leader from the beginning. And I want to take him on in a gym leader's perspective and on a Team Rocket's perspective. If you want to know why that, yes, I would face off Giovanni, but in a gym's perspective. So where can I find Giovanni? And why did I mention Team Rocket? Well, turns out Giovanni is the leader for Team Rocket. So that means I must find where Team Rocket is in order to get to Giovanni. So where is Team Rocket? Where are their headquarters? You might be thinking, Celadon City? Well, no. That's just in the game's perspective. But in the anime's perspective is what I'm taking on here this time. In the anime's perspective, It seems Team Rocket is located in the mountains, somewhere in the mountains. And I believe when I'm done with taking on the Battle Factory, once I find where the mountains are, I would locate the Team Rocket headquarters. I would head there and tell Team Rocket, I'm only here to take on your boss. I'm not here to take on you, or of why you may think why I'm around. It's only because of a gym leader's perspective, and you have a Viridian City gym leader around. The real Viridian City gym leader around. So that means the real gym leader for Viridian City is in the mountains. So even though you may be seeing Team Rocket and how you take on Giovanni, put Team Rocket aside, and I would finally face the gym leader. With that said, that's what I'm going to do, but I believe Giovanni would set some conditions of why I came here. Either I'll be a Team Rocket member or leave. And I would say this to Giovanni. Then should you win, I'll leave this headquarters. But I'll never forget that I did take you on. But I will train in the mountains till I come back to you again. Should I find a way to beat you? So that's what I'll do. I'll train in the mountains, come back to the Team Rocket headquarters, and take him on yet again. So that's what Team Rocket will get when I face off Giovanni. When I will. And why I would come back again. And Giovanni would say, if you're proposing that, should I win, then you need to be a Team Rocket member. So I guess you're never going to leave until you finally defeated me. So that means either way, you will be a Team Rocket member. Then I accepted the proposal. I'll be a Team Rocket member, but I want Giovanni to understand that I'm on a journey. If I'm to be on a journey, then I would want to go on a journey with other people. So either Giovanni will go with me or not. He'll bring out other people that left that will go on a journey with me, i.e. Jesse and James. So that means Jesse and James would put Ash Ketchum on hold and travel with me. In terms of anime perspective. So when I finally win, I guess I'm joining Team Rocket. Uh-oh. Guess I'm a member of Team Rocket. If I don't take down Giovanni, but I would want that badge from him and not a gym leader that replaced him. It's just him and him only. Not Blue, not Agatha, Giovanni. Now, you kind of sounds like Ron Weasley right there. Not me, not Hermione, you. It's you that must go on. But thanks to Ron and how he understood that he had courage for Harry Potter to move on, I would have the courage to definitely move on after I beat Giovanni. So after I beat Giovanni, I found the headquarters, and it'll be known as, what I'm taking it as, the Team Rocket Mountainous Headquarters. After that, then I'll head to Pewter City. And then, Gardenia Town. Terracotta Town. Mulberry Town. And then the Battle Tower. All right, so now we understand everything about my journey of how I would take it on. For everyone to know, should I not be here and I find a way to get to the Pokemon world finally, that's what I would do. And where I would go for contests, the Battle Frontier, the gyms. But then after the Battle Tower, and maybe crossing the border to get to Johto, but should I take the border to Johto? Well, there's a Grand Festival to understand, so I'm going to put Johto aside just to get to the Grand Festival because that's on the way. So that means I'm not going to cross the border to get to Johto, but I'm going to head to the Indigo Plateau for the Grand Festival and the Kanto League. So this would be like in between the Kanto League and the Grand Festival of how that will go in terms of how I take it on. But if I can't make it to the Grand Festival, I'm afraid that would be my placement for, well, the contest. And the next person will move forward in terms of how to move the contest forward if I'm not available. So if I'm not available, I'm sorry. And same thing with the Kanto League. So even though I'm going to have participated in the Kanto League or the Grand Festival, that means I'll just be heading towards Johto in terms of the placement. Because if I can't make it. But if I do make it, then I'll continue in the Kanto League and the Grand Festival. I just hope I do make it after all. But if not, I'm afraid that's my placement. And then I guess I'll head to the Johto region after, because that's next door to Kanto. I may not have continued in the Kanto League or the Grand Festival, but in the Grand Festival or the Kanto League, they would have wanted me to continue on in the Grand Festival and the Kanto League. And I know that to be true. So even though I may not make the end of the Kanto League or the end of the Grand Festival, at least I had a heck of a time. But if things are different and things would be by the Grand Festival, the Kanto League perspectives on when I would be able to do them, that is when I will have enough time for my next battle, my next contest battle. And then I'm perfect. So that's where I would last in terms of the Kanto League and the Grand Festival. And then when I'm done in Johto, I would then head to the Orange Islands, take on that league. Then after I'm done in the Orange Islands, then I would head to the Hoenn region. And then I'm going to do what I said in terms of Hoenn when I get to Hoenn. So that means I'm going to do some research on the Hoenn region next. And then I'm going to do Hoenn next. So Hoenn will have another say again. And then after that, then I'll be chatting on Sinnoh. And this is the end of this video. Thank you for listening.